Hey guys, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk to you about comments that I see on Facebook a lot. And I guess the topic for this video will be, we believe what we say to ourselves most often. And I will constantly hear people say, yeah, Dan, that makes sense, but it's so hard. Right? And I get that when I say take a whatever attitude about the symptoms, or when I suggest that we have the opportunity to choose our response to the events and the circumstances that happen to us in life. People say, yeah, I know that's really important, but it's so hard. It's so hard. Or, you know, I know it's TMS, but I have this little doubt, and it's really hard for me to let go of the fact that it might be physical, right? It's so hard, it's so difficult, it's so challenging. I don't know if I can do this. Well, to the topic of this video, we believe the things we say to ourselves most often. The person we talk to most throughout our entire lives is ourselves, right? Who else would we talk to more than we talk to ourselves? Even when our mouth is shut, the brain is going. We're having conversations. Even stupid ones, walking through the kitchen. What did I do with that? Oh, I'm looking for the coffee pot. Where's the coffee pot? Oh, I gotta make this. Oh shoot, forgot, I gotta get out the butter, right? There's that inane chatter, that constant stream. But there's also the self-critical thoughts and self-judgments that kind of go on all day long. That, you're such an idiot, you're never gonna get that job, you're never gonna do this, you're never gonna get better, right? You're such a loser. You're walking through the mall, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. I'm so embarrassed. If somebody looks at me the wrong way, I'm just going to break down. I'm going to be destroyed, right? We have this voice in our heads. And unfortunately, we believe what we say to ourselves and think to ourselves most often. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have choice. We can choose to talk to ourselves in a more productive, more supportive way, a more self-loving, self-compassionate way. And it all goes back to awareness. And I shot that video on awareness a couple weeks back. And you gotta literally start listening to the voice inside your head. You gotta start listening to the words you're using as you talk to some people. Oh, I'm doing this TMS work and it's so hard. Oh. Right? What are you doing? You're convincing yourself that this is going to be challenging, and you are convincing yourself that I don't think I can do this because it's so hard. And you're really setting yourself up for failure. So what if making these changes was actually a matter of decision and sticking to it? What if you could actually do this? What if it wasn't so hard? What if it was actually pretty easy, right? Because when we realize that making the changes I often suggest in responding to life and circumstances with a little less intensity, when you say it's so hard, it will be hard. When you say, well, I'm going to choose to not let things bug me today, literally tomorrow, or today, since you may be watching this in the morning. Today, just decide. I'm not going to let things bug me as much as it usually does. And let me know. Comment back on this video tomorrow as to whether or not you had a little tougher skin. Now, somebody questioned me, and it's a really important question. If I am suggesting that you don't react to the outside world, isn't that repression? And I'm not suggesting that we stuff our emotions and we say, I'm pissed, but I'm not going to let myself be. Right? That, I think, is a little different. That is repression. That's denying or resisting the emotions. Look, if you're pissed off about something, fine. Be pissed off. Get upset. Get really angry. Allow it. Give yourself permission. But then, choose to allow that to go. You get to choose how long you stay in that reaction. Right? So many of us get upset by something. Somebody said something, somebody did something, you were insulted, you got fired, I don't know, whatever happened. and we react, and we just choose to stay in that reaction for hours, days, months, years, right? And the longer we choose to stay in that reaction, the more we become that type of person. So if you are easily offended and angered by what people say, and you choose to hold on to those stories, and you stay in that story over and over again, you're choosing to be a highly sensitive, easily insulted person. And I'm not saying that you've chosen that when you were a little kid. Sometimes we're brought up in an environment that is frankly difficult, challenging, and we develop these coping mechanisms. And nothing in which I'm saying is blaming you for anything, right? I just posted a video by Will Smith, and he was talking about fault versus responsibility. It's a key video. If you didn't see it, scroll back in the newsfeed on the Pain For You Facebook page and group and watch it. It's about 1.5 minutes long, but he makes a great point. You can look back at your life and go, it's my mom's fault, it's my ex-husband's fault, it's my ex-wife's fault, it's my kids' fault, it's my parents' fault, it's the world's fault, the world is going nuts, the politics, the this, the that. Everything's driving me crazy. Blame, 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 blame. Right, got it. Check, understood. But whose responsibility is it to make the best of your life, right? We've got this flesh suit that we go around in for a certain period of time. And if we are so highly sensitive that the outside world gets to control who we are, how we go throughout life, whether or not we have a smile on our face, or whether or not we're a miserable son of a bitch because everything's wrong in this world. Okay, you can blame everything around you. You can blame your parents, you can blame your childhood, you can blame everything outside of you for the way you are. And I get it. We are the way we are because of things that happened to us in the past. But look, if you don't like the way you are, don't beat yourself up. Just vow to say, hey, there's things about myself that I'd like to change, that I don't want to put up with anymore. And if you stay the way you are and you don't make the necessary changes to lead a better, happier, more purposeful, meaningful life, then I'm sorry, that's on you. That's on me, right? We have that responsibility. We can blame everybody for making us how we are. But it's our responsibility to change that and step out of that victim role into being the person we want to be. So give some serious thought as to who you want to be. Who do you want to be? How would you like to go through life? If you are so easily upset by everything and anything around you, and I'm not talking about just the physical symptoms that we're struggling with here. I am talking about everything. If you're not happy with being that highly sensitive, easily offended, everything is wrong with everything about me, and self-critical and self-judgmental, if you don't like that stuff, write down the things that you don't want to do anymore. What are you no longer going to tolerate from yourself any longer, right? You can blame everybody, around you. This happened to me, that happened to me, oh no. Great, now what? Now what are you gonna do, right? I'm not minimizing some of the traumas and difficulties that many of us have gone through in our lives. Life happens, shit happens. It's our responsibility though to decide, I don't want to put up with my old self any longer. I want to be like this, and then start taking little baby steps each day to become the person that you most want to be. Now, doesn't that seem like a more appropriate way to go through life? Look, I'm 54, and not thrilled about getting up in my 50s. It's a little challenging, right? Most of my life's gone. No, it's not. I plan on being here at least another 30 years. I've got a kid who's only 25, and it feels like I've been a father for a really long time. So I've got more than that much time left. What am I going to do with it? That's the question I am asking myself on a regular basis. And what do I need to do today, right now, to become the version of myself that I want to be? And I'm going to challenge you and encourage you strongly to ask yourself, what is it about yourself that you no longer want to put up with, right? And then start to listen to your language. Because if you are saying that I can't change, it's so difficult, it's impossible to change, I've always been this way, I can't change, you're going to believe it. And then how much action do you think you're going to take to make the change, right? Because if you don't believe change is possible and that it's way too hard for you, you're not even going to see that you've got the potential to change. If you don't see the potential to change, you're never going to take any action to actually change. If you don't take any action, you're never going to get any results, right? I shared this video a couple of days back. It's the Success Loop by Tony Robbins, and it applies to everything, not just getting better from these pains and symptoms, but everything. If you want to become a more resilient, happier person, leading a more purposeful life, that success loop matters. You got to believe it's possible. Stop using language that says it's not possible, or I'll never get this, or I'm such a loser, I can't do this, right? The things we say most, we believe. What are you saying to yourself on a regular basis? Are you using self-defeating language that creates limits and puts a box around you and says, this is you, you'll never change because change is hard? Or do you say, why do I know it's so easy to become a better, newer version of myself? Again, we believe the things we say and think most often. You got to become aware of what you're saying to yourself. And I get caught up in it too. I get caught up in some self-defeating thoughts and thinking and language. And it's tough. So I get it. But it is possible to change. See the potential. Start taking some action. Some little baby steps each day to start becoming the person you want to be. Be proud of yourself. You've come a long way so far. Be proud of yourself for everything you've survived. If you had a hellacious childhood and had all sorts of traumas, pat yourself on the back. Really. Give yourself a big freaking hug because you've survived. You're still here and you're still learning and you're still striving for better. And that's amazing because it's so easy to quit. Right? It's so easy to just throw up our hands and say, I can't change. This is who I am. Well, you probably wouldn't be watching these videos if you truly believe that. But don't let that inner critic in your head be the one to tell you what you can't do. Instead, coach yourself on what you can do and what you really want to do. And that's really, really critical in moving forward so that you're not looking back in 2 years from now going, boy, did I waste the last 2 years. Regret sucks, right? And I get it. We've all made mistakes. We've all wasted time. We all look at it and go, holy crap, like in my case, I lost 13 years of my life to this stupid ass pain. And I could spend my time looking back at that and being sad and angry and pissed off about that. Okay, what's the lesson? That's what it was. And I figured a way out. And you can too. Get the mindset right. Do the emotional work. Decide that these emotions are safe. Get the knowledge, do the self-assessment, then get the mindset, and then do the emotional work, and then go live your life. I mean, that's really the recipe. So, listen to your thoughts, listen to your language and words. If you're constantly arguing for your limitations and how difficult things are, you're not doing yourself any favors. So, Pay attention to that and start to change your words, because when you change your words, you can absolutely change your outcome. So with that, guys, let me know what you think. Comment below. Did this ring a bell with you? Do you have those self-critical thoughts and language? And what are you going to do different? Share that with me, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video.